Hey, brother, in today's Me Too movement, stuff like this will get you canceled, man. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe here. For this reaction to Bob Harper's kettlebell workout, I was getting some backup, some really strong reinforcement. My brother Louka Kurcer from Hardstyle Kettlebell Pro joined in, and he had stuff to say. You just tell me when to stop, right? It's my first that I'm doing a reaction with somebody else, and you're telling me just stop. I want to say something. you gotta let me know. and one thing, brother, before we get started, and I think that's we owe this to the viewer who's now watching this video. I came across this article that Bob Harper had a heart attack, and I don't know how long it has been. So I think he's on his way to recovery. So while we probably both are pretty critical of what he does in that case, I always want to make sure in these reactions we want to stay professional.
Of course.
It's
Absolutely.
For educational purposes. So we don't wish anything bad to Bob. No. What kind of kettlebell is that?
First of all, using the wrong word. That's not kettlebell.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah. What is it?
But I don't know what to call it. I'm not sure what to call it. It's like a weight with a handle that looks like a weird shape, you know.
So a weird shaped looking object. Let's put it like this, right? If I see a coach working with weights like this, I'm always a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Like, have you ever tried to hold on to one of those things? It's horrendous. Like, you can't keep a neutral wrist, you know, it just does this to your wrist. So a friend of mine that bought one of those things, and he's like, oh, look at my kettlebell. I got it for a really good deal. I'm like, dude, throw that out. Like, give it away.
Sell it, sell it back, bring it back.
Give it away. Because you can't hold it properly, and they promote that as ergonomic, whatever.
Gotta check this out.
Shoulder drops. Again, shoulder. And one more time. This time, just drop
That's
your
an
chest.
interesting stretch, actually. You know, it's basic, and it's gonna work for most people.
Yeah.
Because most people don't need anything too complicated. So, you know, I have nothing bad to say about that. I think they're okay. Of course, I'm so technical that I could probably teach it a little bit better with a little more detail. But you know what? It's fine for most people because they don't need to go that deep in the stretching or movement, you know.
And so. I thought the same about the warm up. It's easy.
Beautiful. Legs.
You see that?
You're talking about the rounded back?
Oh, she's just stretching, and he's behind her, touching her on her lower back.
Right. It looks weird, right?
And that's, you know, I always, when I rotate around the client.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
And we have to be careful. We have a lot of female clients.
Correct.
You probably as well. We are very, very subtle if we are giving cues with hands or fists or just very, very subtle.
I always ask permission, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to be, making her feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's his girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's what I want you to think about. If you've never lifted a bell before, here's your form. It's as if Stephanie is standing in front of a wall, all right? So if you're in front of a wall, there's no way you can lean forward. There's no way you can put your body weight into your toes. Her body weight stays into her heels. It's like she's about to take a seat in a chair and up. Now she's gonna be ready to start lifting up the bell. Not yet, you're just hearing me tell you that, just like you at home. And now grab that bell and pick it up.
I like his idea of using the wall because I use that a lot, like the face the wall squat. So they don't lean forward. It teaches them how to have a proud chest, keep a neutral back as much as possible. And it depends on the application. So I think he's calling that a squat. Sure, you know. Why not? You know, it's okay. You know,
I heard this a lot actually. People, guys or folks picking stuff up from the ground and calling it a squat.
Yeah.
And you know what I see is, I mean, this is a deadlift, all right? So you pick up weights from the floor. What I see is, if you want to go into a deadlift, you keep your hips above your knees.
Absolutely.
All right, so you have some stretching in your hamstrings, and then your upper body leans forward. So depending on the length of your torso or length of your legs, your anthropometrics, it may be that your upper body leans forward and you're now in that visual wall with your head.
Correct. Yeah, we have to make the distinction.
Yeah.
And in a squat, you want to go as deeply as possible. And you want to use the full range of motion as much as you can while keeping a neutral spine.
Yes.
So that's the way we teach a squat. So we have to have the distinction between a hip hinge and a deep squat, because in a squat, the knees and the hips, they flex to a similar degree.
Yes.
And in a hinge, the hips do most of the flexion.
And
so I think here's not making the distinction. He's kind of like crossing them over.
Yeah. I think that's why he calls it a squat.
Yeah.
All right. And yes, you could
it
say
actually looks like a squat because he's not hinging.
Yeah, and you could say, okay, that's a squat. I'm going down, and then I pick the weight up in a squat position. It technically looks like a squat, but when you pick it up, it's more of a deadlift. Right? It's a little bit mixed. Let's keep going.
Don't think about lifting the bell. I want you to think about all the movement coming from your hips. Keep your body weight into your heels. You're going to come down and just swing. Swing. Up. Up. Now, here's what I want you to concentrate on.
Oh, Lord. Stop that. Stop.
Oh.
I asked you to stop the video, but actually stop her if I could, because she's going to hurt her back like that. If she's overarching her back. Oh, my God. That looks like a Jillian Michaels swing.
You know what's interesting? If you do it in a sports style version, okay, you have your glutes are tight, your quads are tight, and then you don't bring the kettlebell up there, but you have the kettlebell about chest level, and then you tend to lean back with your upper body a little bit in a slowly kyphotic position.
Yep.
That's not a problem, but she's definitely overarching the lower back, which could be a problem, right?
Well, she's actually lifting with her back here. She's not lifting with her hips, and you can tell that she's using her arms. And she's not really using the power that much in her hips.
Yeah, that's what I see.
She's also squatting.
Yeah, and she does many things, right?
And the reason why she's doing it that way is because he showed the deadlift wrong. In the first exercise that we critiqued,
Yes.
that was wrong in the first place. So that's why the swing, it affects how they're swinging. So that's the problem.
And one. Hold it up. Here we go. Now, you're going to do your first swing. Don't think about lifting the bell. I want you to think about all the movement coming from your hips. Keep your body weight into your heels. You're going to come down and just swing.
I get nuts when I see this. Put the kettlebell down. Put it down. And then you're able to pull it in the backswing and start
it properly.
I get nuts.
The thing is,
when I see
Gregory, they can get away with doing this with a very light weight, okay? But once you go heavy, there's no cheating. You can't really do that.
Yeah.
There's no way I could start my swing with 48 kilo.
All I want you to do from here is you're going to grab it from the bell to the horn. Bell, horn. Up, down, up. Just keep it here. Don't move the legs yet.
What is this?
That's
That's
like
A clean kind of.
Up.
hang clean type thing.
Now.
Clean.
So here's
type
what's
thing.
happening.
All right.
She's breathing heavy right now.
All right.
Just trying to get her heart rate down just a little bit before we engage into the legs again.
That's
Go
cute.
Close into the body.
That's cute.
Good. Up,
That's cute.
down, lift, down. 8,
I don't like the way she squats because
7,
she's not really opening up her hips.
Yeah.
She's using her knees too much, I find, in the squat. And that's going to eventually create knee issues. So
We'll better be pointing toes out, right? Knees out.
Yeah, I would say opening up the hips a little bit, being able to externally rotate the hips. So I could use those glutes a little bit more.
So now what they think is, okay, let's do a press. But actually what they do now is they destroy the shoulder.
take that
And they
bell,
destroy, just burn it
push
out.
Forward. Push, push, push.
So this has,
Keep
so
your arms
stop,
moving.
Gregory, 2 seconds. This exercise can have value Okay, and I'll tell you why. This actually is Dan John coined this movement called the heartbeat. Okay, and we use it. We use it for core engagement. We go much slower, and it's important to have packed shoulders, right? It's not that bad when you go really light, but when you extend your arms out with a weight, what can happen is you may be leaning back with your lower back. So what's important is that you have your core tight. And I use it sometimes with my clients just to make them aware of being able to walk and engage their core. So that's the purpose of doing that.
Let's put it like, let's coin it like this: an awareness exercise, right? I just came up with an exercise which I believe is great for awareness when it comes to certain kettlebell sport elements. So, but it's not actually an exercise that you will put in a regimen like this, where the idea is to go pump and work.
Yeah.
It's right. It's awareness. Yeah, I do get that perspective.
My God, she's about to die.
6, 5,
Oh, Lord.
4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Right into your kettlebell swing.
She's doing a reaction to.
All I want.
That's what we always talk about, right? The burn mentality. Keep pumping, keep working. And then when you feel the burn, people connect the burn with, I think I'm doing something right. They do work up to, now they do curls, right?
That's gonna kill the forearms.
Staggered.
Holding that bell.
And then rotating it. See that? Man. Hey, brother, in today's Me Too movement, stuff like this will get you canceled, man.
Really?
No, but listen, man. You my perspective as a male coach is, maybe if you need. Why do you need to? Oh, he's even shaking her. See that?
Making sure those muscles are tight.
I love this when it's like, I gotta feel if your muscle is working, right? But
I tend to shy away from adding loaded rotation. The reason why, Gregory, is because we know that the midsection muscles are there to stabilize.
Yeah.
And you can't produce power from your spine. You can produce power from the ground through your hips and transfer the power through the spine. So midsection are there to stabilize and then transfer power, not to produce it.
Yeah,
So that's
I like
the problem.
that. I like that.
So
Really like
that's
that.
why we do anti-rotation exercises, anti-bending, anti-flexing. The one-arm swing is an anti-rotation,
Stabilizing
anti-bending
stuff, right?
exercise,
Yeah.
stabilizing stuff, rather than trying to get into flexion like sit-ups or crunches or, you know what I mean? It's why do that? Because most people are already in a flex position all day.
Yes, mobilizing the spine. Yes, opening up your tight muscles. Yes, all good stuff, which we also are advocates of. But doing stuff like this, I probably would say she mostly feels it in her biceps,
Yeah, or in her back, lower back.
all over back.
Dropping your shoulders down.
That's
Your
good.
abs are engaged as you drop that right
gonna be
arm
more like a side
as far
bend,
as you
little bit.
can. And
You can
come
tell,
up.
pause the
Here's
video
what I
at
want
the
you to think
bottom,
about.
you're gonna see his spine is bending. So it looks more, it's a bit more like a side bend. Because it's hard to hinge the hips like that. Because he's literally bending sideways. He's not rotating.
That's what it
and
is.
hinging.
The spine goes into flexion, right? It starts bending. Sorry, it starts bending, and the hips are locked. So the right thing would be is the side hinge, right? Opening up the hips, pushing it back so that your lower back is safe and strong, like you taught us in the windmill, and then going down. So what I don't see as well is if he would or if both of them would use the hip correctly, they would turn to the side, right?
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't be able to see his chest anymore if he's doing a real windmill.
Ooh, which is such a great cue for somebody to learn the windmill. If you do it in front of a mirror, you shouldn't see yourself once you're in that bottom position. What do you think? It's 41 minutes of work. continuous. So I see a lot of volume, a lot of unnecessary stuff. You could cut it probably in half and still be good with a very strong workout and do some more of the basics. So that's kind of my verdict. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I would probably eliminate a few of the movements that are unnecessary. I would refine them. I would load them a little bit heavier. I would do less volume, like you say, and focus on quality. Because quantity, people want to do more. They think more exercises is better. They think more reps are better. Doesn't always mean so. If you're doing 1,000 reps poorly, it just 0 counts, you know? So
yeah,
what's
the purpose? Yeah. No. What's the purpose? I think the purpose, like we already mentioned, is this idea of getting the burn, of breaking a limit, which could potentially even harm yourself in the end, producing a lot of
100%.
waste, a lot of hydrogen ions that your body has to take care of, right? And
because if they're going to be fatigued, you know, quality goes down. If they accumulate a lot of lactic acid, a lot of burn, performance is going to go down. They're going to slow down, defeats the purpose.
And I'm still kind of in that camp where I believe, yes, you gotta feel some fatigue and keep pushing through in order to progress a little bit, but I think it's a very thin line. Right. And depending on what you're working with, if you have a 48 kilo swing hard style, and after your 5th rep you start losing focus because it's too heavy, you can destroy yourself.
Of course.
And I just thought about it today when I was working with a client. I sometimes have to hold myself back with all the cueing because I think if I say too much now, she's getting confused. So I just, overwhelmed.
You know, it's possible to overcoach. It's like feeding someone, you know, you don't want to be, you want to be feeding them with 1 spoon at a time, not the whole meal right away. Like, here, just eat it all at once, you know.
Take it.
You got to learn the whole getup with all the little details right away.
Right away. And if it doesn't look perfect, you'll give me 10 push-ups. That's what's up.
Correct. Or I'm going to fire you.
I'm going to fire you. You're done. I won't coach you anymore. You got to be perfect if you show up. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it, consider subscribing if you want to see more kettlebell content. And if you're looking for a program that builds you up as a beginner to an advanced kettlebell trainee, and maybe you also look for some solid nutrition coaching, some basic stuff to help you get in shape and maybe lose weight, then check out 90 Days of Kettlebells. You find the link in the description, and we have a 14-day free trial included.